Michigan DNR, snowmobile clubs, and law enforcement encourage snowmobilers to use caution when in the backcountry after the region confirmed the latest snowmobile fatality earlier this week. Officials say that speed has been a common factor in many crashes. Keweenaw Bureau reporter Thomas Fournier has more on how to ride right in the backcountry.
Copper Country snowmobile trails have been very busy in recent weeks. Many visitors have traveled along the trail, but a few have not made it home following an accident in the backcountry. Michigan DNR, local law enforcement, and Keweenaw Snowmobile Club want to remind residents and visitors to ride right as the region enters the middle of the snowmobile season.
Yeah, I think it's important to realize that a lot of these modern snowmobiles are very smooth. They're not modified. They're really quiet. And honestly, that you're just going faster than you think you are, and they don't stop any faster than an older snowmobile. So when you equate these higher speeds, I think a lot of riders are just not aware of how fast they're actually riding until they need to stop or they hit a bump in the trail, and all of a sudden they can't control that speed and they end up off the trail. So
people riding too fast, we're getting a lot of frequent lake effect, creating a lot of snow dust, which makes visibility very hard. So when you combine that with speed and unfortunately alcohol for some people, we're getting very aggressive out there, and it can change very quickly. Bucking you off into a tree can happen in almost a moment's notice. And then also along the trail system, we also have a lot of areas where snow's been plowed up at, say, road crossings and things. It's frozen and thawed a couple of times. Those things that look like real nice fluffy snowbanks to go run over can be very hard and can result in injury if you hit them going too fast.
Each representative of the snowmobile trail system expressed that group leaders shoulder a lot of responsibility to make sure everyone in the group rides right.
It's up to that lead rider. They're responsible for the folks behind them. So if they've got a novice rider, then they have to ride to that novice rider's ability and not put that person in a situation where they're riding over their head.
Trail 136 for High Rock Bay has been groomed, but KSC President Ryan Laporte says riders need to stay cautious as the crew did have a couple issues with ice this week.
It was very icy out there for us with just barely enough snow for us to go do what we needed to do out there, but it has improved. Just encourage people to be really careful, especially as you get out to the point. It's very low snow. There's a lot of ice. The drop-offs all the way around the point are very dangerous, so stay towards the center of that. Don't get too close to the edges, and just be safe out that far. It's a long time for first responders to come for help out there.
Throughout the winter, clubs, DNR, and law enforcement have heard complaints from property owners of riders crossing off-trail. Riders must stay on open trails, otherwise right-of-way agreements are put into jeopardy.
And the department, but the clubs are the ones out negotiating with these landowners and getting permission to cross these lands. And with that comes some responsibility on the rider's part. It's really a privilege for them to be there, and they have to stay on the trail and ride appropriately so they don't jeopardize the agreements that we have with private landowners.
There's always questions about riding across ice and lakes and those kind of things. We maintain a very intricate trail system. We encourage everybody to stay on the trail. We don't monitor ice conditions. And certainly if you're choosing to use those, know what the ice conditions are before you cross that, and know that you have legal access on both sides where you're entering and exiting off of that body of water. Because it is detrimental to the trail system if we have private landowners who remove access. One small 40-foot section of trail that somebody owns could eliminate an entire 20 or 30-mile trail.
It is a big concern in our area, people riding off the trail. We try to work the best we can with the Keweenaw Snowmobile Club in signing the trails. We'd hope that a group of snowmobilers doesn't wreck the opportunity for everybody else by going off trail, going onto private property.
With my UP News in Keweenaw County, this is Thomas Fournier.